because we ain't burned this son of a bitch up a long time ago, because we could have. Systemically, we are consistently starting behind the starting line, and yet and still, we still manage to succeed. We don't have the barriers of entry that other races have, and yet we still succeed. We don't have a whole system on our backs that works against us, including the medical field. That nose job, I bet if they saw you as black and you had some pain, they would question you. Regardless if you acknowledge the black that is within you, society sees that, and they would treat you as such.
Yeah, I want to
so the fact that you look at black people the way that you do shows us, including with the nose job that you got, that you have a problem with yourself. And so the work that needs to be done, and I say this in love, is to do some researching on the black part of your family, because there should be some pride there. Because black people are some of the most loving, empathetic people I've ever met in my life. Because we haven't conquered nations. We haven't put blankets on full of smallpox on an entire race of people to kill them off. We also haven't killed their only means of food sources. We also haven't taken over countries. We also didn't put people on ships in the millions and sent them over to a country that they didn't know to tell them that they were less than. We also have never created a law that told people that you were only 1/5 of a person, 3/5 of a person. All of the things that have been done to us, and yet and still we are here, there should be a level of pride that you have, because that resilience in black folks is in you. So I suggest that you look more into the black parts of you, get an understanding, and have some pride, because you're actually missing out on an amazing part of who you are by talking the way that you do. And I'm done.
I completely agree with you. That was many years ago that I got the nose job. I went to Columbia and I got it done. And yeah, I did. I was a fan of wigs. And it just, again, my whole look did not come together right. That's one thing that most people who are mixed race know, that some of us don't come out, like the features don't always go together. I always was jealous of my Puerto Rican cousins, the ones that were full Puerto Rican. I was always jealous of their cute features. And I realized that a lot of that was rooted in internalized racism and self-hatred, anti-blackness. But at the end of the day, I've worked through it, and I'm working through it.
That's all I ask, is that you work through it, because it's beautiful over here. It is beautiful over here. I'm telling you. Like, think about it. Think about all the things around the world that have been done to black folks, and yet we're still here. Think about that.
I love my broad nose. I love.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
now,
have.
My shit could have. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. My shit could have went loose. I'm glad it stopped. Like, where it stopped at. Let's be clear. I'm glad it has a nice shape. But that was a close call. But I am proud of my broad nose. I feel like the king of Zumunda. Like, I love my African black large nose. I love it. I'm sorry, I was just venting, but go ahead.
I want to share something else that might help too a little bit. And sister, I hope this helps for you as well too. A lot of times, and I'm not saying that college is the way of learning something, but sometimes as black people, we need to learn how our people have experienced things, maybe in different parts of the country or in different families. Our families are usually the first level of how we learn about our blackness and our culture. But when we get to those ages when we start striking out on our own, we get to learn a little. Hopefully, I would think you would meet people, black people from different parts of the country, black people from different parts of the diaspora, and as you talk to them, you get a little bit of a better sense of what not only what we've gone through culturally, or even knowing where to go. For me, growing up in Gary, I always understood white flight, at least from Gary's perspective. But then when I met people from Detroit, I understood the politics around that, which tells me a little bit about the people around that. And different places where I would go, I would learn bit by bit by bit. Sometimes that helps you out in discovering who you are, because then you start figuring out, to the comment of, well, this is what I think black people can do. You start figuring out what has been done, and also and maybe appreciate what people are trying to do as well too. And sometimes it can also be a help to you in certain situations. I have a buddy of mine, and we still laugh about this day. This happened about 30 years ago, so keep it in mind. He had a recruiter that was trying very hard to get him to move to Martinsville, Indiana. And I remember I was at Ford. He called me. He said, Pierre, this recruiter is telling me about some suburb in Indianapolis called Martinsville. I hadn't heard of it. The significance of this is that Martinsville is a very well-known racist part of it's in southern Indiana, and outside of anything Bloomington normal. At least it's a little bit better now, but southern Indiana is racist as hell. Used to be the Klan capital literally in 1930s, 1940s, and he still had a generation that lived about it. Make a long story short, the recruiter was trying to convince him to live in Martinsville, which is about an hour out from Indianapolis. This is like telling somebody that Toledo is a suburb of Detroit, or that Milwaukee is a suburb of Chicago. But they were trying to do it because they wanted to bring a black person on without thinking about where they would live, or thinking that they would be stuck in Martinsville and be okay with that. If my friend had not called me, if I had not expressed that to him, this is what's going, this is what happens in Indiana, don't take the job, he probably would have taken, I'm not going to say he would have taken that job, but it would have been likely that he would have. So I say all this to say, learn from other people about what their perspective is about being black. And I mean from everybody, whether they are in a frat sorority, whether they're in a church, or something broader in a diaspora. And each little bit will inform you a lot more, and it really will inform you a lot more about what we are as a people and what things are about as well, too. So I hope that helps.
Do we have silence now? We got silence.
I feel like every time I talk, it
No. It's cool.
I feel bad.
You know what it is. The reason why I didn't get involved in that last exchange because I think men should be aware of, like, when you go through a back and forth with women, and I just never want to be that guy because it just, you can have a small debate, but I think when you get into looks and noses and all of that kind of thing, I don't think that's the proper space for a man to be in, engaging with a woman like that. That's just the shit. That's just how I stand on that. Like, so I know I have women in here that are, we reflect the same mindset, and so I will always allow women to deal with women. And I guess this message is for the guys in the room, not the women. But we got to stop that gossip shit and all of that, and we got to chill. We gotta chill sometime, and so that's me. That is me. I'm not gossipy. One thing I'm not is gossipy.
You be gossipy and over talking. What are we talking about?
What do I? Oh, Brian, hold on, Brian. Maybe I could be long-winded. I could be long-winded.
I don't know if you're saying nothing, but I have to address it because
Brian. Yeah, I could be a little wordy. I'm working on it. I could be a little long-winded. I accept that. That is my thing, and I'm learning to be less words. I'm learning. But one thing I'm not is a fucking gossiper bee. Like, anybody will tell you that I don't do that gossip shit.
Did you fit, Robert? You didn't feel I was trying to gossip, were you?
No, Pierre, not at all. Nah, bro, that wasn't directed at you. Yeah, no.
He was the only one talking. He's belaboring. I don't know what's happening.
I was just taking a moment just to acknowledge a moment. That's all. That's all I was doing. And Brian, yeah, BB, I don't gossip, or like
Robert,
we debate about politics.
Let me just tell you why I said something. There were two men talking, me and Pierre. What are we doing? I mean, man. Look at who was talking. You didn't
like
say
talking and gossiping.
Robert, let me finish. You didn't say like at times this that you specifically mentioned. This conversation, two men were talking. I talked a little bit. Pierre talked some. That was it, to my understanding. So what are we talking about?
No. I wasn't addressing that to anybody. I wasn't addressing that to you or him. It was just a thought that was being expressed out loud. That's all it is. If I'm gonna direct something at anybody, believe me, I'm gonna put your name on it. But no, that was no shot at you guys. That was no sub, none of that. But thank you, Brian. Yeah, you probably thought I was. Yeah, no, not that Pierre Brian. No,
I hear you, Robert.
My bag.
No, but it's also a fair point. But it's all But the good thing about social audio is that you hear people's voices and you can tell when somebody's just talking too. That's the good thing too as well. So.
Do y'all think that what's been happening, with the left, do y'all think, like the silencing and all of that, do y'all think that Democrats will be petty and do the same thing when they are in leadership?
I hope so.
Me too.
I hope we grow some balls and be like, all right, it's find out season,
I'm sorry, I missed the question. Ouch.
Oh, I said with all the attacks and everything that the left has been doing. I'm sorry, the right has been doing. Do you think the left? Do you think Democrats will step into that petty bag and do the same thing to them, or you think they're going to do this whole we're better than that and we're here for the people in the country and we're not like them? Do you think that they will be petty?
I think they're going to be smarter. I think I say my tag phrase is don't be baited, be better. And when I say be better, I don't mean don't fight, I'm not saying be on some punk shit. I'm not saying that.